does it surprise any of you that I have to trick my brain into having urgency? That's the truth. Look, you're not just Jordan. Jordan is Jordan because he tricks his brain. Does anybody remember from his book how he tricks his brain?
He pretends someone at the top, nosebleeds, stole money out of their mom's purse to get the ticket.
I didn't even hear all those details about it. What I did hear, but that's even better. He said he pretends someone in the nosebleed stole money from their mom's purse. Right. I didn't even know, but great. So I'll pretend that for everybody else too. But what he said was, I am imagining that a kid that could, the one I read, maybe I misread it, I'd imagine that a kid comes to their only Michael Jordan game. That's all they're gonna get. I imagine that too, that you're here and that this is a big deal for you and I wanna bring it. But it's ongoing tricking of the mind. And there is a reality that as you get older, and I know Julien deals with this huge, and our buddy Jeff deals with this huge, that you kind of hit a point where you realize that the validation of the masses is kind of dumb. And you're like, I really don't care what anybody thinks anymore. Not even necessarily because you don't love or respect them, but more because you just realize how fleeting most people's thoughts are. Like me and Julien have had it, we're like, massive fan base, then we get hit with some weird thing, then the fan base is gone, then it comes back more, well, we always keep the core ones, but the more passive one, then it comes back, and after time you're like, I don't know, who knows, like I'm some guy, I'm probably neither entirely good nor entirely bad. Like that's kind of the, like by the time you're like mid-30s, you're like, I'm not entirely good, I'm not entirely bad. If everyone tells me I'm awesome, it's not necessarily entirely true. If somebody tells me I'm bad, I'm not entirely bad. I'm someone in the middle, I'm a work in progress, just like the same person saying it is, just like we all are. I took a large crap this morning. I think I might have miscued the toilet paper and touched my own crap. I smelled to check if I did, I'm not sure. I washed my hands. After I whacked off earlier too. Like I ate a weird burrito I shouldn't have from a microwave and I burped. But yet, oh, I'm the best. I'm the best. Shut up. Nobody's the best. Nobody's the angel you think. And nobody's all bad, right? And you realize that, like I've looked at the mother of my kids as her, stretches out while a giant head comes out. Like, you can't see the same halo after that, okay? It's just not that, you're a dad now. I videoed it. I showed it to Dylan, too, and he went, whoa, it came out her leg.
I did, too. I never showed you the intro. I'm like, I literally did a vlog intro. This is Julien. You didn't see that one? Love this idea of urgency, but I also like tying it to excitement and not taking things for granted. Where, say, you take a seminar like this, or for you, whatever it is in your life, like one opportunity that unlocks, it's easy to think, there'll be next time. I'll just wait till next time. And I read in all these spiritual texts, there's an infinite amount of opportunities, right? Yes, that is a perspective, but at the same time, there isn't. We talked about before, you could also die at any point. This could be your last moment alive. So for me, it's, let's not take it for granted. On one hand, this could be the last event I ever do. I hope not, knock on wood, but it could happen. Knowing that, how am I gonna go into this to really milk it so if it were, I would look back and be like, yeah, I did good. Yeah, that was worth it. Yep, that was it. With whatever it is, next time you go out, next time you talk to someone, next time you're even at your job, even if it's a job you don't even like, what if that was your last time alive? You're gonna be like, I was just sitting at the computer, or I was just really into it. And even taking in, again, not taking it for granted, we get used to things. We're like, I'm used to it. It's not as exciting. What if, think of a swimming pool. Why do we go to a pool? Why do you like swimming? Because it's different, right? You're in the water, you're like, slow motion, bubbles, right? It's new. What about life? What if you treated life that way? What if you weren't alive and here you are? Or you had 1 minute to live? You'd be like, oh, air, the feeling of being alive, this thing I took for granted. You would actually milk it. That same approach, take it for everything. Don't take it for granted because you've been living for so long. Don't take it for granted because you've been doing X, Y, Z for so long. Sink in that perspective. What if this was my very first and last time? How would I go about it? Then even deeper, on a more personal level, going all out, it's for what it does to you. For the experience. Most people live life, again, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They do something 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like, oh, how can I minimize energy? How can I save energy? Without realizing that it's by going all in that you save energy and even gain energy. It's that resistance of like, just a little bit, let me conserve resources, that screws you up. It also blocks you from entering a flow state. It blocks you from entering that zone where things just are easy. Like Owen said, getting out of your own way. When you're in a flow, it's just like, you can talk and talk, you can do this, you can do that, you can work. I'm sure you've all had it even with work, even sitting behind a computer where you lock in and hours fly by and you're like, whoa. Learn to access that. That's not something that should happen on the rare occasion. That should be you the majority of the time. The rare occasion is where you can't get into a flow state. Most of the time you should be able to, no matter what the task, by the way. And you should actually even practice this with menial tasks. Something as simple as, say, even cooking your food. How can you truly immerse yourself in the experience of cooking your food, if you cook? What if that was your last time ever? How can you enter a flow state when cooking? How can you enter a flow state when taking a piss, going to the bathroom? How can you enter a flow state when waking up in the morning? That should be your challenge. How can you truly add depth to your experience here alive? How can you add depth right now in this moment listening to this? Because even now, for all of you here, some of you might be, again, it's late, you're tired. Maybe one ear listening, the other ear, kind of conserve energy. What time is it? Let me take some notes. Let me be on my phone. Guaranteed, if someone's watching this online, they have a million tabs open. They're probably texting someone at the same time, maybe listening to another video, music in the background, TV on, a million things. How often do you add depth? That's something, by the way, that's getting robbed from people more and more. It's like, when's the last time, even at home, you sat down and, say, locked into a video for 45 minutes, 1 hour, 0 distractions? No phone, no other tabs, nothing. Just add a depth to that video and see what it does to you. You don't get good by consuming a ton at a very surface level. Like I said, even reading the book once. Right? That's also the sad reality of a speed reader. It's like, next book, check. What do you remember from that book? Nothing? Did you apply anything from that book? No, but I read a lot. No, surface focus on a lot, not good. If you take a little, though, and you add depth, that's when the magic really happens. And it's a choice. It's a choice where you have to ask yourself, am I going to commit to the present moment? Am I going to commit to the task at hand? Or am I 1 foot in, 1 foot out? In which case, even on a deeper level, it's like, why are you resisting being alive? Why is half of you resisting this current experience? Why is half of you resisting life? Some key perspectives to sink into. And then, of course, again, back to urgency, you're going to die. You don't have all that time. Reflect, too, on just how fast your life flew by so far. And then another big one is if you don't do it now, more often than not, you never do it. If you can't do it right now, what makes you think, again, this is nuanced, not always, but what makes you think you're going to do it in the future? Like if you have the free time, even to do something very simple in your day-to-day life, a simple task, a simple chore, you have free time and you don't do it, oh, but maybe tomorrow will be different. Really? What's going to be different? And that's what you also realize. Time doesn't necessarily make things easier. It makes things harder. Why? Because you get more and more ingrained in your comfort zone, more and more if you're living the wrong way. If you're living the right way, it gets better. But for most people, it gets harder because they're more entrenched in their comfort zone, their habits. They're older, they're more tired, they're busier, there's more responsibility, they have less energy. It doesn't get easier. Every day that passes gets a lot harder. The easiest time, the younger you are. So don't take it for granted. Don't think it's always going to be like this. Don't think there's going to be that magical moment when things change too. Right? That's, again, the movie conditioning, right? Once the spider bites me, I'll be Spider-Man. And every day you're looking and waiting for that spider, bite me. This is where you have to stop. You're like, no. Enough waiting. Bite yourself and get to work.
Is that a new one, or did you just make this up because you've been saying this for a while? I haven't heard you say that one.
Oh yeah, bite yourself. Enough. Enough this waiting. Get to work. Right? So, I mean, that's the way I view it. And once more, even on a more just personal level, it's like that's truly what brings that fulfillment and joy. If you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're not going all out, you don't even enjoy it. The people on the receiving end don't enjoy it. You're not enjoying it. It's a lose-lose. And then, I mean, even if you think of, to get a little spiritual, your gift alive, right? The one thing of value that only you can offer is the experience someone gets when they're on the receiving end of who you are. When you're projecting and they're experiencing you. Right now, guess what? All of you, simply because I'm the one on the producing side, you're all experiencing me. If something you start talking, we'd all be experiencing you. But only you can give someone that experience. Because there's only one you. Why hold that back? If that's the one true gift that only you can give, go all out. Don't hold back. Don't give like a half-wrapped, broken gift. Back to that whole Michael Jordan. It's like, hey, I want someone to have the full Michael Jordan experience. What about everyday thing? You know what? I want someone to have the full me experience. And it's not something you turn on. It's not something you do at times. It's just who you are. How can you do it so you're just always living into your own and giving anyone and anything you come in contact with the full you experience? And it all starts with just deciding. Deciding and putting in those reps. A lot of the time too, by the way, it's the very, back to Jordan, it's the very boring, mundane tasks again and again and again that produce the results. I love it. This is always going back to Jordan. There's I think it might be in the same book. There was a quote where he says, don't confuse glory, and I'm paraphrasing, with its source. Where you might say, oh, Jordan like dunking. You're like, oh, I got to practice my dunk. I want to be like Jordan. Where it's like, no. What made Jordan Jordan are the boring fundamentals, the non-flashy stuff again and again and again. Right now, this year, although it looks easy, there's a ton of reps that go into this. Not just on stage. Guess what? It's after this event, breaking down the footage. It's like watching a game, breaking it down, looking at how I said this, how I said that, how we broke down certain concepts. How can we make it better? How can we make it more captivating? Looking at the questions that come after. How can we explain it better? How can we simplify this? Ooh, this bit went a little too long. This story would actually go better there with that bit of content. Then do the next event. Watch the replay. Tweak. Better. Then it's like, okay, well, what are some things that are missing that I could improve on? How can I work on that on a day-to-day basis?
By the way, I don't know why, maybe it's late at night as you're saying that. Also that some guy at the other end of the YouTube kid video would be like, this sucks.
Totally gonna be a comment like, meh.
Your whole life, worthless.
And it's like, just milk it. It's like, meh. That's gonna be all the comments. I just meh.
As you get older, all these little kind of tethers sneak into you, right? And they're good. They're not all bad tethers, but the kids I love to death. You saw my kids here this weekend. But it's like all these little tethers, these little bills. The way that it gets you, the specific way that it gets you is like this. You're looking at some house, you're looking at the rent, and you're like, and you look at different houses or different rent, and then you're like, well, I want the good one. I don't want the bad one. So I'm going to kind of max out what I can put within my spending limit. But now you're tethered in, right? You know, in Fight Club, the things that you owed wind up owing you. Then you do the same thing with a cell phone. Then you do the same thing with a car. Then you do the same thing with whatever expenses that you have. It's human nature to max them out. But then what happens is that as you get older, all these things are tethered into you. Then you get different food addictions that are tethered into you. Could be alcohol, caffeine, weed, whatever. High stimulus little programs. So it's like all these little satanic little minions are like, do you want to watch the little TikTok thing? And you're not thinking like, I'm going to be just watching this 15 hours a day. Well, that's a lot, but a lot of people even do, right? But you're not thinking like, I'm going to be on this couple hours a day. When you click that button, you're not thinking that, right? When you're getting that house that's on the high end of your spending, you're not thinking that now you can't go travel anywhere because you've got to keep paying the bill on this. We all do this, right? So you're thinking it's going to get easier to do the thing you want later because all the ducks are going to be in a row. But in reality, we keep having things presented to us that later kind of recapture our time, energy, focus, and bandwidth. And then it gets to the point where now, and it's like what I was talking about earlier today, like I would see Grand Canyon, and I'm like, it's so weird. Like I wish somebody would have just told me this sooner. Every single year, I said I was going to go skiing again. Every single year, I had to start skiing next year. Every single year, I said I was going to go to Yosemite Park in winter because I'd been in summer. I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to see it in winter. Every single year, I thought that I'd do a road trip to Montana. Every time I went to Vegas, I said I'm going to go take a helicopter to Grand Canyon. Never happened. Never happened, never happened, never happened, never happened. And it was always, it's this deception of later, like it's going to happen later. So that's a lot of what we're saying to you too, is realize the hidden costs of things. Realize that, you're setting your life up and you're thinking to yourself, okay, it's just me looking at a TikTok video. It's just me taking on a certain financial obligation. It's just me doing this. It's just me doing that. My girlfriend the other day, she got offered this amazing deal on a Tesla. Really amazing, like ridiculous, like amazing. But in the end, after that initial huge chunk that she'll get for free is paid off, she's gonna owe $2K a month. She makes a lot of money. But nonetheless, that's another, what happens is you get this really dope Tesla offered to you. You get offered a big price chunk taken off it, and you're like, well, it's like 2 months, like in a couple years I have to pay it, or like $2,000 a month, a couple years I have to pay it, but you're not realizing that that thing is leveraging you. It's burning up your time, it's burning up your energy, and it's another thing that winds up owning you. And now, fast forward to like say a year and a half later, hey, do you want to go to Alaska? I can't. I got to pay a bunch of different bills. The 2K will be one of many bills, right? Oh, I can't go. I can't do that thing. Instead, invest your money into things that actually get you out of those situations, like the time that you spend here, or for those of you doing other programs with us, the time you spend there, where what you're doing is consciously auditing what the heck you're getting yourself into, and you're being forced to confront that, and then you're being forced to audit what are the things in your time that you actually care about. What are the real benefits to this? The hidden benefits, like actually fleshing them out, fleshing out the hidden cost to that, getting into alignment, and then getting urgency to go after what it is that you want. So as you're watching this right now, unfolding in front of you, start looping on what do I really want to get out of my life, and how do I add urgency into there? How do I look at every single thing in my life, see the hidden costs, see the hidden benefits, and make decisions on those things, and then you've got to consciously architect and curate your life to look like what you want it to look like. And what I've seen, like I mentioned, I've seen it to where I get too much on the work side, and it makes me miserable, but I've also seen it where I'm too much trying to kind of live, like I'm gonna start living my life now and do something for myself, but then it winds up messing up the business. And so you're trying to get a sense of like, well, where's the sweet spot here? How do I not wind up at 60 and my life blew past me and I didn't do what I want to do and I became a battery for all these obligations and time burns and energy burns in front of me? But then at the same time, how do I also keep the ship going, keep the lights on, and keep making more cash so I can have more opportunity? So that's what you're going to be getting really, really rubbed in your face. Anything that you learn from him and I is anything along those lines, right? When Julien is getting to look deep in trauma, when Julien is getting to look deep in social skills, those are very, very high leverage areas where you don't realize, like you're looping in trauma, looping in trauma, looping in trauma, and you don't even realize all the hidden costs. You also don't realize the hidden benefits of getting out of trauma, or you don't have social skills. You loop and you loop and you loop and you loop, and you're thinking, okay, how do I really realize how much this is costing me money? How much I'm not getting that promotion at work? How I'm not able to be an ambassador for my brand? How I'm not able to represent myself properly? How I'm not able to meet a quality significant other and I'm going to argue with them? Do you understand the hidden costs to not learning social skills? Do you also understand the hidden benefits, how awesome it is? But you may not see that. But again, you've got to get clear on those things and then get a sense of urgency on those things. And then when you have that urgency, the next thing you know is you have clarity. And next thing you know, you have that kind of endless motivation and right, and now you're just blasting around and you appear to be almost superhuman. Other people are like, well, where do you get that energy, your focus or drive? And it's like, well, because I've got this clear in my head. I get what I'm dealing with. But that takes you saying, I'm going to break out of this loop that I'm in of day-to-day life, and I'm going to kind of pull up for a sec and get some altitude on my life and get a sense of what's going on. Because when you're in the weeds, you're too busy reacting. You're always counter-punching. You're always reacting. So what time spent here or are in our proper programs or in videos are meant to do, it's meant to get you to get out of the weeds and to always be counter-punching. And you're like, okay, I've got to clear some space now to get proactive. I've got to clear some space right now to where I'm not just reacting, I'm acting. And you're acting through your will. You're acting through clear discernment. You're acting from a place of self-generated flow. And then from there, you can start to build a life that you want. And there's so many layers to the life that you want. It's very, very late. And we could make a whole week on that, and probably will. I've got so much to say on that topic. Inner life, outer life, all that. What you add, how you add value, how you receive value, all that. But the main idea again, main takeaway here, audit the hidden costs, audit the hidden benefits, get urgency. Anything else to add on that? I'm guessing we covered it pretty good there.
And if you're watching on YouTube, just make sure you comment meh.
Yeah, exactly.